Testing. Okay, mic works. Sharing my screen, taking some stuff out. Saving. Good morning, everyone. I'm John, and here we are again. Day 2 at the live streams of trading. Make the screen bigger so you guys can see. I'm ready in a trade. This morning I saw this move and I could not let this one go. I was expecting at least to go to this high, and if we are lucky and we keep going up, we could even see the upcoming highs. We do have some news today, so we need to be a bit careful and make sure that we keep that in mind. I'm making some tea, so you hear my teapot. Still not able to get that little bit out of it, so my webcam keeps staying there. I have no idea how to get it off yet. So let me open my trade and show you guys what I was doing today and why I was doing what I'm doing. So on a 15-minute, I saw a reaction. We came out and I started this trade from down here. Saw the move starting. Saw a very nice push, and I put my stop loss, and my entry was right here. And I put my stop just above break even, and I took one partial already at these highs here to make sure that I'm definitely staying in profit. If it does not hit my target, at least I'm up already for this day. Yesterday we also had a nice trading day. I made some nice profits in the afternoon, so I'm up the same amount, doing perfectly fine. So let me show you what we made yesterday. I need to open my screen one more time. So now we close the first hour, so it looks very bullish. You cannot say this is not a nice bullish momentum. But in the 4 hour, we still have 2 hours to go, so I'm a bit careful if we do hit that top. There is a huge fair value gap here, just above the 4 hour. So I'm aiming for this to be hit today. And then I'll be watching it very carefully to take some profits along here. If we do hit the tops, we make another $400. I'm up now 100, almost $200. Now let's take a look what I made yesterday. I'm up 110 at this point. We could make it almost 200, but I'm keeping it open. Yesterday we ended at a profit around 384.85 on this account. So I'm now up 111. So like I said, I will show you every day. It's the same account. You can watch SNJ January. So you can keep seeing that it's constantly the same account that I'm working on and helping you guys build it with me. I don't want to take a close look now. It should not go too much in depth here. If it does, it could take us out and reverse, but then we can just take the short, of course. It's very early in the stream. And when I woke up, I saw a nice wick here and I had to jump in. I could not leave that one alone. I put my stop just below. I jumped in this retracement wick, and now we will see what happens. So we have two we had 2 fair value gaps here, so normally we should not surpass this one. That's why my stop is just above my entry, because this was the last liquidity grab here before continuation moving further upwards. So if we do continue further upwards, we should not see a drop even to, I believe we could go to 21,104. So this should be the maximum that we drop. We should not drop any lower than that. If we do, we could have a reversal, and that means that we are going lower, of course. But at this point, everything looks perfectly fine. We just came in this 15-minute fair value gap that we have here, that we created. And if we just tap this and the reaction is good and we move further, that means that we have a continuation. And this would have been a nice entry point, by the way. If you are not in a trade, that would be a nice entry point. Put your stops then below this wick and just let it ride continuation upwards. But I would have another minute on patience to be sure that we stop it here and not close it at the bottom. Sometimes it wants to close the complete gap too. So always wait until the 5-minute at least is closed, unless we see a 1-minute reaction and it really pushes up higher very fast. But in the 1 minute we still have a little gap here, like you can see. I do not want us to hang too long around here. I really want us to see push and continuation if we want to keep going up higher from here. My complete screen. Well, if I do hit this one, that would be a 2 and a bit, I guess. Yeah, 2.84 I make if we just hit that point. But I'm aiming really for halfway this gap. So that would be a 4R. So sometimes it looks a bit strange when you watch the 1 minute. But if we zoom out and we take a 15-minute, you can see that we just had a reaction in here, and we can still perfectly have a continuation moving further upwards. So sometimes it's good, once you get stuck on the 1 minute, to zoom out a bit and watch if the chart is still doing what we were supposed to be seeing. Excuse me. Like you can see, we tapped into that 15 minutes. Now I want to see us strongly continue. We still have 9 minutes, so we could dip down one more time and just move along the last 15 minutes, the last 2 minutes. The reason why I expect us to continue, because we stopped here and really there is nothing here. So there is no liquidity grab being taken. There is nothing exactly being done here. So the only reason why I want us to continue pushing is because there is a 4-hour for value gap here. There is no 5 minutes anything here also. So if you watch the site, we do have a 5-minute for value gap here, a small one. Let's see if we tap that one. Yeah, we did tap that one. The reason why I'm watching for value gaps from a bit in the past now is because that's the only indicator I have. So I always want to watch the time and the charts as close as possible in the time where we are at this point. But I need to watch also liquidities. So what am I watching for now? Because we took external liquidity and then we go to internal liquidity. By the way, that's from Jesse. Thank you, mentor, for helping me for that one. So that's ERL to ARL. So that means we go from internal liquidity to external liquidity. And this is what I'm expecting. We should hit that one, and then we should have a continuation upwards now. If we don't, this could stop us out. But I'm fine with that. I took a very aggressive entry, so that's why I already put some profit. Okay, now we're completely in that 15-minute fair value gap. So I want to, we can close to the bottom, or maybe even the bottom of that candle, but I prefer that we close halfway. That would be perfectly fine, and then continue moving further upwards, at least in the last 2 minutes of this candle. We need to reject from it. Especially because we made a 5-minute fair value gap here. And we tapped that. You can see we tapped it, and we had a continuation. So we came in, we rejected it, and we came into the further down. So now I want us to see, we can close it completely, like I said, and then I want us to see have a strong reaction out of it again. If we do not, and we have a continuation, yeah, then we are having a change of direction, and that means that we could go lower. But until I'm 100% sure, I'm continuous on having longs. I want us to hit at least this bar here. Oh, if somebody doesn't know who I am, I'm John, by the way. I'm been a trader for about 4 years, 5 years already. Damn, time goes fast. I used to do crypto only. I learned to trade stocks, and I find it much easier. They're more colorated, and you can trade intraday. On crypto, it's not as easy to trade intraday. It's better to trade crypto on longer time frames than shorter time frames at this point. I hope in another 6 days we have a nice push up in the crypto world, because it's been having a bit of a dip. And I think everybody felt that in his portfolio that is having cryptos at this point. And we all prefer to see it on the other direction anyways. Let's keep pushing strong. So it has like a strong momentum. So I don't like to see that. So that's what I said when we touched it here. That I said better to wait until all the candles are closed before entering it. Having a bit of patience is always a good in this game. You don't want to rush into trades. You want to have a plan and very accurate trading with that plan. Mine was again time-based liquidity being grabbed, and it had to push through it and did not came directly back. So that's why I took that trade. And second of all, why I took that trade is because we're in London, and London normally has the high or the low of the day. And we formed a small wick, and I wanted to have the long of the day. So if we do trade the whole day upwards, that would be a very nice entry point here, by the way. Now I want to see us move out of this, because we have about 2 minutes now. If we break through all of this and we push to here, that means that we're going lower. So I don't want to see that. We also had a new 1 hour candle, so we can tap This is a huge gap, by the way, for the 1 hour candle also. But for me, everything looks fine. This looks like a bullish candle that we could end up just to that high. That's what I want to see. And for the rest, we have to have patience. If you do want to enter this trade or take along with this, we should have a bullish momentum saying that this candle would now stop above here and end there. Then I would enter, put my stop just below here and enter where this candle closes if it closes up. It cannot close below. It needs to close at least above this gap. That's what I want to see. If we do see that now, and I want to see it rather quickly, or I see it just reversing on us. Because we created for value gaps, we tapped, we continued, we created value gap, we tapped, we continued. So this is what I want to see. And I want to see a strong push out of this box now. Yeah, and now stay above. Yeah, here you could enter the trade. Put your stop here and let it run. Why would you do that? Because first of all, we came and grabbed that liquidity. That was the last one. You could also put it down here. So you could choose two trades here to take a long. First of all, this would have been your long. So that would be here you stop or below here. It depends on how you feel comfortable by trading this. I put it to here. So that's a 2.9. Still a nice trade. Why would I do this? Because this is like 14 seconds in that candle. Look, and we are closing almost at the same level. So that looks great. I did prefer to see it close at the same level and not engulf it. I don't like seeing engulfments, but because of this reaction of that wick and we had already a push up, it still looks good. And if you feel more comfortable, that could also be your stop here. That's still a 2.5 trade, so it's still a nice trade. It was a very aggressive trade also if you would have taken that one. So make sure you definitely keep a close look at it, how it reacts. Because normally it should not close this low. It should have a nice continuation. Because we've taken liquidity here. Okay, looks like it wants to go lower. Okay, that trade would have been stopped out. We could have stopped out here somewhere. It has a strong push, so it wants to go lower. It looks like we're gonna hit up lower anyways. I did not expect that after such a nice push, first of all. So that one would have been stopped out now. And I believe I will get stopped out too at any second. But that's great. That means that we could take a short from here out. Yeah, we are trading counter trend anyways, because first of all, we were in a downtrend. If you watch the dailies, so then you can take a box. So we came to the 50% somewhere, so that would be inaccurate to say that we came to a discount to have a decrease in value again, because we did not take all the liquidity here yet. So that's good why we take some partials along the way always to make sure that we are in profit. Especially if you have a very fast entry, make sure that you also are very short with your stop losses then to move them up. I'm gonna leave my stop loss where it is. I'm gonna let it do its thing. I'm not gonna change anything. Yeah, no, there was no sound, guys. I was already in a trade. I just put it off for a minute. I know, there was no sound. I put it off. I told you guys I put it off. I was not speaking at this moment because I was not trading. I cannot speak 2 hours on a straight road, so that would be me speaking way too much. So, by the way, yes, casper is always a nice buying opportunity, and I am still in this trade, so I'm very happy. Let's see if we can get to my target that I wanted to hit previously. So we're going back. We inverted everything, so I was not expecting us to. This came to my stop for less than a half a pip, so that was very strange, very nice to see that my stops were placed perfectly at the exact spot where it should be. Now we did take all this liquidity one more time, so we should not see a reaction down here anymore. If we do, yeah, we're definitely going lower. If not, then we have a nice continuation moving upwards to my target, of course. Now, there isn't much to see in this, or much to say about this market, except you can watch the candles. Every time you do, you've learned something. If you want to learn how candles work, please read the Candlestick Bible. It's an easy book to read. It's a learning book, so it's not a reading book, guys. You need to study it, not read it. And you have to do this at least one time completely. And do not skip any pages because you need to do exercises. And if you don't understand them, do not go to the next page. Stay at that page until you completely understand what the man wants to tell you. It's very important that you do so. Otherwise, you can never learn why he does what he does and why he was, by the way, the greatest trader in the world and still is till this day. And he's not been alive for quite some time now. It's been counted if he had the amount of money that he had today on his day, and we would have put it on this times value. He had twice the amount that Warren Buffett has by trading. So that's huge. You can even buy it online, guys. It's a very cheap book, by the way. So you can buy it for like 3 euros, sometimes even less. But buy the English version, by the way, not the Dutch version, or what your language is from. So his discovery made more than 10 billion in today's dollars. So 10 billion, guys. That's more than. And it's called this book. So let me share for a second. This one. Very nice book. Go buy it if you really want to be a trader. And study it. So it does not look like we want to go up higher. We came back, we came down again, and we tapped this gap completely. We could have a bit of a sideways market now instead of going upwards. We still have 19 minutes in this 1 hour candle. We will see how we close this one. So my mic will not be on. I can read the chat, guys. I cannot keep speaking for 2 hours on a on a time base. So So it looks like it wants to close that 1 hour for value gap that we're in. So if we watch the 1 hour, we can see we have a gap here that was not yet closed. And it looks like it wants to tap that one. Did not expect this to react back down after this nice bullish momentum, and we did not hit any liquidity pool yet. So the only thing that I did see when I zoomed out a little bit more, that we touched the 50% of this daily gap that we were in. I was not watching all our surroundings, and that was exactly the 50% that we tapped. So I did not see that one. My own mistake, of course. We are in a downtrend, not an uptrend. So if we do not hit my target, I could be perfectly fine, and I'm okay with that, of course. Or we should have a nice bullish momentum now directly out of this one, but I'm not 100% sure at this point, so I'm letting do my stop its thing. I'm in profit anyway, so like I said, I took a partial when we were up here, and now I'm just letting this trade run. I'm not wanting to stop anything like it is at this point, so we will see. We had a little bit of sideways movement. If we did want to go down much further, we should have seen a very fast reaction and keep doing it. So we did not. We had a sideways movement. So that's also a nice sign that we have a continuation. So that means it's building up liquidity to push in one direction. And by the way, the morning news was positive for the stocks. We had a morning news this morning, and it was like this. We had loans coming out, and it was positive. That means that there were still people asking for more loans. So that means that the economy is growing again. So that's very good to see. So that means that stocks and everything go up normally in price. So always make sure that you watch the news. We have 2 newses in this afternoon too, around 2:30 in the afternoon. So we have a lot of volatility coming out at 2:30. So be careful if you are in a trade at 2:30 this afternoon that you're not stuck on both sides of your liquidation, because they love to take some liquidity at news events. Just pouring me out a cocoa. Just a second, guys. And women. Now that was close. It was hot. Almost spilled my pants. Okay. I'm back. So, like I said, there's not much to talk about this market anyways. We are in a sideways movement, and I do not like to trade or move anything at this point. It still looks like we could go up higher or down. So I have, at this point, it's a little bit insecure or unknown, because we have had some sideways reaction. We came down. We closed this gap completely again. Now we have an uptrend again. So we could take liquidity here and see what happens after that if we have a push up. So this is just like you can draw a box in it, and we have a sideways range here. So it's building up liquidity on the down part and the upper part. So we need to wait and see what happens after that. We can just push out and continue moving upwards to my target, where I wanted to see it hit anyways. It's up here. So I want to see it hit 21,205, and the reason why is, first of all, this is the liquidity I want it to be tapping into. So this would be my first target. That's 21,165, 21,165.575. That would be my first target. And second target would be in this 4 hour for value gap that's here. By the way, there's also resting liquidity above here. So if we are moving upwards, I believe that that would be our target that I wanted to see hit. I will go over my trade from this morning one more time. So why did I enter what I entered? So What did I see? We came down, we took liquidity. We took liquidity one more time. And then at 9 o'clock, so maybe put them Brussels times for a second. Here we are. So this was 9 o'clock. I don't trade before 9:15, so this was 9:15. We pushed up. So I was waiting for a reaction back down. I saw this reaction came in, and I saw a strong pull on this 5 minute. So I entered when I was seeing the rejection of it. So I just entered here, put my stops. So my stop was here to start with. I was in with 2 small contracts, and I'm just putting it above my entry place. I will leave it there because we one time grabbed liquidity, a second time we came down for liquidity. So there is not much down here anyway. So if we do go down, we're gonna take out all of this liquidity too. So then we still have an opportunity to short this market. There is more liquidity lying above than below, but always remember that we are still in a downtrend. So going up, you should definitely take your stop positions faster up with you. So I should have taken it up to here, then I would have like $70 to $80 extra, but I take a partial one and I left my stop because I've learned if I leave my stops where they are and let the trade do its thing, I have sometimes huge profits by just leaving one contract open and let it run. It's much better for my scores at the end. So if you have any questions, you can just drop them in the comments. Give me a likes, guys. I always like to see them also. So the sound will be off again for a few minutes, and we will see you guys later. Okay, so I believe nothing will happen until almost 12 o'clock at this point. We're just having patience, seeing what the market wants to do. Like I said, I recapped my trades about 2 times this morning already, so I'm just leaving my stop where it is. I believe that we want to go up higher, so my targets are still up here, but in the 1 hour we had a fair value gap down here, so we can still tap that one. And I did not see before I took this trade. I did not watch my surroundings good enough, and we had a daily fair value gap in here, and that was hit it exactly in the center. So we can just continue moving downwards because we're already in a downtrend, and it's better to trade with the trend than against it. Of course, I believe that will be my stop. Gonna be hit. We're just taking out liquidity here, and I'm just at that point, so it was building up liquidity on both sides, so it needed liquidity to move in some kind of direction anyways. So if you don't know what liquidity is, let me explain a little bit. So you can draw boxes around sideways markets and see where they build up liquidity, so they are being targeted to move then in a counter direction. So if we want to see up higher prices, we want to see the lowered liquidity being targeted to continue moving upwards. Same if we want to go lower prices, we want to see the upper targets being targeted to move in the opposite direction. So now we tapped into the lower liquidity. I believe we've taken it all out now. 85.25, and this one was 84.25. So no, yeah, these are now equal lows, exactly matched. So we've taken out all of the liquidity here already. So we will see if it taps me out. I'm okay. But like you can see, we have been in a ranging market now for about an hour and 10 minutes. I did not adjust anything of my trade. I just left it like it is. So you can get stuck in these kind of situations to try to trade this movements. I do not. I don't like it, so I don't trade these kind of movements. I let them be. I let my thing do. Once I see a movement, what kind of direction we want to go out, I will take that trade then with me. By this point, it looks like it wants to go lower, but if we do go lower, we definitely have multiple entries still that we can go. It's a huge way down. So that would be our target then. First here, second one here. So we have still
Order filled.
momentum. So that was my stop. That was targeted. Now I want to see how we react because we are inside this 1 hour for value gap. Still. Yeah, this 4 hour candle does not look bullish at all anymore now. It looks like it wants to add a rejection and wants to go down to the lower parts. Not eager to take a trade anymore in the pre-noon or morning session. I was already behind one, like in here, so I believe I will leave it for this. And I will trade again in the afternoon session. I will not be doing this live here. I will be doing that live on my Discord, of course. You can always join if you want to. Otherwise, I wish you all a very great trading day. So let me show you before I log out how much we made yesterday. So yesterday our profits were 384, 383, 65. Today we're on 113.30. So bit by bit we're going up. So I show you this daily so that you can follow along how much I make and how fast we can grow this account. We will see. It's needed that we make to 5 to 10 accounts on a paid funded account, and then we can grow it together. Let's make $1 million this year, guys, in trading. That's the target. So we will see how far we get. Have a nice day.